Wikicast Podcast. Hello and welcome to episode number 8 of Wikicast. This episode is going to be all about Hugh Hefner, the creator of Playboy, and a bunch of other things you will discover throughout the episode. I mentioned in the previous episode about dinosaurs that I'll be doing one about apocalypses this week. Not entirely accurate. We have recorded one about apocalypses with my friend Craig, but I'm going to wait a few weeks before I unleash that one onto the world. So this episode, I'm joined by my housemate Kerry, who was very interested in doing one about Hugh Hefner, so I decided that it's necessary for her to join me and take the plunge into the world of podcasting. So without further ado, here is the episode about the Hef. So I'm assuming and hoping you know a bit about this guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
I got the impression when you were excited about doing a podcast about Hugh. Hugh. Oh, Hugh. I know him quite well. So well. Yeah, H-Dog and me, we go way back. I assumed that you seem to know a lot about him.
Yeah, I have to say I've watched pretty much every single episode of his reality TV show. Which
is this some MTV thing or?
It's an E! News thing. It's called The Girls Next Door.
Of course you watch E!
Yeah, it's tragically brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Oh, it's about his 3 girlfriends, and they're quite attractive. So.
3 now? Apparently it's 7 at one point.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So Hugh Marston Hefner. It's a heck of a name. He was born in 1926. So that makes him
85. Not bad.
Not bad going. And he looks good.
Considering he's got a 27-year-old girlfriend, I think he's doing pretty well for his age.
He's got twins as a girlfriend as well.
No, they've been got rid of now.
Oh, really?
He's getting married.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that.
Without a prenup. Fail. That's going to end badly.
That girl must be delighted.
Yeah, I think she smiles quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, she's just taking the money. So he is an American magazine publisher, founder and chief creative officer, because that's an actual word, of Playboy Enterprises. But apparently his parents were teachers. His mother was Swedish and his father was German and English. And apparently they were conservative Methodists, which probably had some effect, because there's an idea out there in the wilderness that if you're really strict with your kids, then there's a chance that they're going to go the other way quite sharply.
Yeah, there's that view about Catholics as well in England that the Catholic schoolgirl always rebels. And
yeah, the more restraint, usually the more they want to go the other way.
Yeah, I didn't go to a Catholic school at all.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Oh, it just makes so much sense. You were saying that maybe his marriage didn't also help and kind of, or he was once probably quite conservative himself.
Yeah. I heard that. Well, this is all kind of out in the ether and Wikipedia and the like. But apparently, according to sources, like when he was married, he was very conservative and was completely in love with his wife. And then just before he went to war, she cheated on him, or when he was at the war, and then.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, she cheated on him before he went to war.
I think she cheated on him whilst he was at the war and told him just before their wedding.
Oh, right. So they were together before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he married Northwestern University student Mildred Williams. Mildred is a fantastic name.
Brilliant.
Ugh. In 1949. And they had a couple of children. And before the wedding, Mildred confessed that she had an affair while he was away in the army. Quite right.
Harsh stuff.
Which is, not something you want to come back to.
Not really.
And he called the admission the most devastating moment of my life.
Of course it is. You're fighting for your country and you come back and you find out your wife's sleeping around. That's not cool.
No one wants that, yeah. But apparently, as a result, and she felt so guilty, she allowed him to sleep with other women out of the guilt for infidelity and in the hopes that it would preserve their marriage.
Yeah, that worked out well, didn't it?
They divorced in 1959, just 10 years later. Unlucky. But, so I guess that answers the question of why maybe now he's settling down with one chick.
Yeah.
He's marrying, I think, for the third time?
Third time, yeah.
But he has, at some point or another, had like 7 girlfriends.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, that just sounds exhausting.
You have to give the guy credit.
Levels.
Like, at the age he's at, to be able to deal with not 1, not 2, but 7 girlfriends.
And that was he was like 6 or 70 years old at that point.
Amazing. Like, most of the guys I know can't deal with 1 girlfriend, let alone 7, so hats off.
It's almost as if he's got a lot of money. And
no, really?
And they're all pretty much exclusively blondes as well.
Yeah.
Like in their 20s, I believe.
Yeah, he's famous for saying that Picasso went through his blue phase. I'm going through my platinum blonde phase. Love it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because when he gets accused of only focusing on blondes, he does say, like, his first wife apparently was a brunette,
Yeah.
but that was back in the olden days. But he started out quite right, as we mentioned, he was in the army for a bit, but he was a writer in the army, so I don't know if he actually did any firing of weapons. But he was there for a couple of years writing for the military newspaper. And he graduated from University of Illinois. He had a BA in psychology with a double minor in creative writing and art.
That's amazing.
Which I guess, in a way, is what Playboy contains. Creative writing and art.
I think it stemmed from, like, he used to love cartoons as a kid. So he had, like, loads of little drawings that he used to do. And I think it kind of stemmed from that. But Playboy's amazing. There's some great artwork in there sometimes. Sometimes
photographic and cartoony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a documentary the other day to try and learn a little bit more about the dude. And about the dude, and it does seem he's a lot more than the superficial reputation he gets. Apparently, the articles in Playboy are actually worth a read.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone really did, but
I don't think they do. I really don't.
So it looks like he kind of got it. So he's a writer for the U.S. Army for a bit, and then he worked as a copywriter for Esquire.
Yeah,
which is a logical stepping stone, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much.
Apparently, he left the job in Esquire after being denied a $5 raise.
I don't really know how much that would be nowadays.
Yeah, that was what, 1952.
Yeah, and like the first edition of Playboy sold for 50 cents. So
really,
I don't know.
Well, how much is it now?
I think like $5, $6 maybe.
What?
I don't know. Well,
yeah, okay.
I'm not really a connoisseur of prices on these things.
Funnily enough. But yeah, he apparently he mortgaged his furniture in 1953 when he wanted to start his own magazine. He generated a bank loan of $600, and then he got an investment of about $8,000 in order to start the very first issue of Playboy.
Yeah.
Which wasn't called Playboy.
It wasn't. It was called Stag Party.
Which is a little cringy.
A little bit.
Playboy kind of sounds a little innocent and sweet until you know what it is. And then, but Stag Party can only be one thing.
Yeah, it's actually like a trademark thing that they changed the name to Playboy because someone else had a magazine called The Stags. They couldn't do it, and Playboy was like a car that had been taken out of production, and he quite liked the name of it and thought it was like quite frisky and playful, and kind of changed the idea from there, like to The Girl Next Door, which is quite. I like it.
Yeah, in the documentary, he was saying he's really glad that they had to change the name because it would have been a little bit odd nowadays to have girls going around in deer suits as opposed to bunny suits.
It just wouldn't work. And also now I think like because of the reality TV show, like I mean like myself, a lot of girls really love Playboy, and it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work being like, oh, I love Stag Party. You sound like a hooker.
Yeah,
you really
Stag
would.
Party can only be a man thing. And he apparently, on the surface you don't know about it, but he was very wasn't feminist, but he was pro women equality, and more than people would give him credit for.
Yeah, our housemate definitely would not give him credit for women equality.
Yeah, there are a couple of people out there who wouldn't even have the discussion.
No.
Because it can seem a bit, it's naked women, and there've been accusations that it's objectifying women. Which, it's possible that it does somewhat.
Well, it does. I mean, to a certain extent, it does. I think the problem that some people that I've spoken to have had with it is that it's part of a whole culture of making women feel like they should look a certain way, and then kind of skewing their views to the point where you think that that's what you want, where in fact it's just views that have been planted in your mind, and it's just like, come on, guys, like it's hot women. You can't really complain about this. Like,
this is it. I mean, I'm with the mindset that it's an artistic thing in a way. Like if you take a well taken photo, just accentuates one of the most beautiful things that there is in nature.
I think it's great, and especially for the women, I think it would be lovely to like have a photo of me looking at my best. And also I think it's a great way of expressing, sexuality in certain ways. I mean, like Kevin Smith, for example, when he took that pictorial of his wife, that was a way of showing his sexual desire in a way that was really loving, and she felt great. And I think that's how I see Playboy. It's just like women feeling at their best, and every Playboy bunny that you can ever speak to has always said that they come out of those shoots feeling like $1 million just because it makes you feel brilliant.
I do love that story of Kevin Smith and his wife, because he got approached by Playboy asking different directors, if you want to do a shoot of your own, and he's like, well, sure, that sounds good, but as long as I can do a shoot with my wife.
So sweet.
And like he then asked her, and she's quite a feminist. And he's just like, this is just gonna get shot down immediately.